Well, hello, Paul from Maximo Park. How you doing?
Not too bad. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. See, we're on camera today, and I'm now slightly annoyed because I put on a shirt because I thought on camera, got to look. And then suddenly I've come in and where's this suit come from?
Out of space.
It is something special.
Well, I'm dressed for stage, so I wouldn't normally walk down the street like this. But
it's a very dapper suit.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah,
it's kind of just spellbound. When you first came down the stairs, I was like, oh. It's appealing.
Thank you. Hopefully it doesn't start peeling on stage due to the heat of the Wedgewood Rooms.
It does get quite hot here. So, my first question was going to be, besides when I saw the suit and was just like, mesmerised, was to get out of an interview with me was quite hard to go for eye surgery, wasn't it?
Well,
it was quite a big step to take.
I've tried to pull some tricks in my time, but that one was the biggest one yet.
Yeah, I've just got him going, oh yeah, sorry, they've got to cancel the gig tonight and the interview because Paul's going for eye surgery. I was like, okay, that's one way. I didn't think I was that bad.
No, it was unexpected.
Yeah, how are you after that?
I'm okay. I'm still waiting to find out whether the operation's been a success. But it's my right eye, and hopefully they'll give me the all clear. But at the moment, I've kind of recovered from the surgery, but I'm not sure whether my eye is good or bad.
Oh, that's never too good news.
No, I'll see. I'll wait and see. It's pending.
To be fair, that does the ultimate question: would you rather lose your sight or your hearing? And I'm guessing I can tell your answer because of being a musician.
Well, that's too difficult. I wouldn't like to be given that kind of choice. But you see, without music, I think my life would be a lot less rich. But also, I like looking at things as we all do, and I used to
see a suit.
Well, this is it. People say I might have looked like I've got dressed in the dark. You never know.
You never know. Right, well, let's go on to some actual questions, shall we?
Why not?
It's supposed to be. We're supposed to do for
Let's get pro. Let's get professional.
Yeah, right. Professional.
Professional stance needs to be adopted.
So, did you have a good Easter?
I did. Yes, I had a One Direction egg.
Oh, who got you that?
My mother.
Yes, that kind of
She thought it would be funny, and she was right. I did have a little titter at the breakfast bar.
Was it any good?
No, it was underwhelming.
Good.
It was really small inside, and I couldn't understand.
So that could sum up most of One Direction.
Well, it's not for me to say. What I can confirm is that the egg was a rip-off.
Good.
Although it may have been 75p, so fair enough.
That's still a rip-off.
Just had a big box.
Still a rip-off though.
Yeah, well, you said it.
Yeah, well that goes to my next question now. Does your mum still get your Easter egg? Because I still get them even at 25.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think.
High five to that.
I hope it never.
I do like that.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Mums at Easter time.
That's what you want. That's what you really, really want. That's a bit of spice comes there.
Yeah, well,
we'll avoid that.
I'm sure they did some eggs in their time as well, so I hope theirs were higher quality.
Yeah. Right, it was Records Day on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you guys released a special EP, didn't you?
Yes.
So I'm hoping that you have a strong belief in Record Store Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's always two sides to every story, and over the last couple of years, as Record Store has grown and grown, you end up with quite a few releases that you think, oh, well, they're not very good. But, that's music, it's down to different people's tastes.
Yeah.
But I've also heard, kind of some of the smaller labels who maybe aren't involved or are involved in Record Store Day can't get their stuff pressed because the plants are just overwhelmed by lots of big labels kind of paying them more money to do their stuff, which is really unfortunate. But at the same time, I think I'm an overwhelmingly positive person about the day because it celebrates A, independent music on the whole, B, record shops that are independent as well, that are struggling to survive in today's economic climate, and the fact that people don't really buy records physically as much as they used to by a long stretch. And third, it kind of, I think you need a kind of physical presence on the kind of high street, because if people don't see music on the high street or in a shopping area, it becomes less and less valued, it becomes less and less visible, and before you know it, it's just this kind of thing that, there's a few nutters online who buy vinyl or buy physical copies of things and care about the artwork, but it'll just become this kind of more and more just a disposable thing, whereas I care about music a lot. I make my living off it, obviously, as well. And, you know, I like seeing a shop on the street. It'll make people think, oh yeah, music is something that I could get as well as a computer game, or as well as a designer suit or whatever. Yeah. It's just, you know, it's about variety really. And if you just have something selling mainstream stuff, and you may not even have a music shop on the high street, as some of the bigger brands have found out, it's tough on the high street, then, you know, Record Store Day is a big positive thing, because the people in my area in Newcastle, I've spoken to the people who run the shops, and they say we make more out of this day than the rest of the year combined, and it helps us keep going.
Surviving.
Yeah, and it helps, and so then we can get that weird record that you ordered in. Yeah, you can do a lot of it online, but I feel like the physical world is important.
Yeah,
the virtual one.
I'm a strong believer in like the whole physical copy anyway, and like the artwork and everything, because it's not just the music. I mean, if you get an MP3, you chuck it on your computer, whatever, and you just listen to it. But you've got the artwork, you've got the lyrics and stuff. Because I'm always one of those real losers that sits there and reads all the lyrics and
me too.
Reads all the thank yous and like, oh, he wrote this, mum, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's the way it is with us, and we put so much into it that to not have it there, or for it to be devalued in some way, you think it's such a shame, because it enhances me as a listener. You know, you're not just doing it to as a kind of egocentric thing. You want to enhance the whole experience. So when I listen to some of my favourite records, if I'm on my iPod going around America or something, I think of the artwork, and I think of, you know, I've already probably read the lyrics a few times and they've got stuck in my head, and the whole thing is enhanced. It becomes a more three-dimensional experience.
Yeah,
and that's, you know, it's something that I feel strongly about. And, you know, when you see our artwork, it's been kind of sourced by an artist, and we've all had input into it. I type out the lyrics and, you know, get them put into a font that's exactly the one that I want, if it's not my handwritten lyrics, which it sometimes is. And you know, you change it with each release, and it's part of the fun of putting a record out. And like the latest album sleeve is an old rave flyer from like 1992 or something, and an artist that we know called Matt Stokes in Newcastle, he kind of does archive subcultural based art, and I'd seen some of his work in a gallery, and we just approached him, and all of a sudden you're working with this guy that you've seen and making something totally new that's got a bit of his vision in and a little bit of your kind of direction in, and you create something new. And that's what this is the whole thing. Making music is a creative act. It's exciting to create something, you know, whether it's a flan in your kitchen, or it's a CD that you make and give to your mates. You know, making music in a pub or playing to a stadium full of people, it's a really exciting experience to be able to do that. So artwork, the whole package, you know, it doesn't have to be something that's just selling a product. It can be more than that, I think.
It's really nice to hear the passion. I like the fact that it's not just the music, everything combined to make the experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm dressed up in a daft suit, because hopefully when people come to the concert tonight, they'll remember it for as long as possible, and they'll see a show as well as the music. And the music's the main thing. You know, I'm doing my best to enhance it as much as I possibly can with my boring self, and making that a bigger thing. You know, making my gestures bigger, trying to give something to the back of the room as well as the front, and
create an experience.
Yeah, an experience rather than just something that's one-dimensional, something that is just churned out. Because a lot of CDs that you'll see in the shops or whatever, one of the reasons why the music industry is on its knees a bit is because it shoves rubbish down people's throats as well as good stuff, and
which is hidden in the background.
Yeah, and you've got to sort the wheat from the chaff. And it's the same when you go to see a live band. Do they care? You might see somebody intense who hardly move, but you can tell that there's a crackle and an emotion in the performance.
Or if it's all synchronised.
Yeah, or if it's somebody saying the same thing that they said the night before on stage, because they know it gets a reaction, the same joke. You know, every night on our tour is different, and we change the songs up, and we try and, you know, I try and talk to the audience, and sometimes I'm an incoherent person because I'm running around, but you're trying to connect with people, and it's the whole thing is you know, whether it's artwork, the music, or your performance. For our band anyway, it's about connection, and it reflects the things that the songs are about. They're about something, they're about emotions, and that emotion might be something kind of funny or witty, or it could be something really melancholy and serious. But you have to try and get that across to people, and that's the kind of the job of it, I suppose.
See, there's one question I always like asking bands, and that is, if you had to introduce yourself to someone that had never heard Maximo Park before, what 5 tracks would you say they had to listen to get an idea, a concept of what you guys are about?
Well, it's funny because our albums are always like that. We just can't stick to one thing. So our albums, on the new album, you've got something like Brain Cells, which is a new direction for us, but at the same time kind of maintains the sort of essence. The essence of the band is there. But then you've got something like Lydia, the Ink Will Never Dry, which reminds me of stuff like Books from Boxes that we've done, kind of picked guitar and kind of organ sounds, and it has a distinguishable quality. And then there's punky songs like Her Name Was Audrey off the record. So and then there's Leave This Island, which is the more sort of synthy side of the band. And again, you've got something like Midnight on the Hill, which is almost like a Tom Petty song. It's just straight down the middle of the road. It's like cruising down the highway kind of a song. And they're all different facets of the band. You could go on each of our records, I think, and say the same thing. People tried to peg us as a post-punk band on our first record, and you've got Going Missing, which to me sounds like a kind of sort of sludgy, like an American alternative rock kind of thing. And it's like The Breeders or Dinosaur Jr., but it's got me singing on it, so it doesn't really sound like that. No. And next to something that is kind of more angular and kind of punky, next to something like Acrobat, which is melancholy and reflective, and there's spoken word on it. So I think you could probably just take each of our albums and just pick 5 random songs off each of them, and they would probably show you a lot of... Don't pick them in order, because that's not how we do it. But maybe pick every second track on a record, and you might find something that expresses all these different things, because we just can't... That's one of the reasons why we call the new album Too Much Information, because we can't really decide what kind of a band we are. We just know that it's pop music somewhere underneath it. Sometimes it's rock, sometimes it's kind of synthy, but
it's what happens when you all get into a room. That's what happens.
Yeah,
and
it's just
that is your sound. Yeah, that's the perfect way to be.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Also, another question which I've never asked before, but I've always wanted to, and that is, if you were me and I was you, what one question would you want to ask Maximo Park?
I'm struggling with this one because I already know it all. That's the thing.
But pretend you don't. Pretend you're a novice like me.
What makes you so amazing, Maximo Park? You're just the best band ever, but nobody ever says it. No, I'm only joking. Where'd you get your suit from or something? I don't know. I can't answer that question sensibly, I don't think.
That's always good. Most of my questions aren't serious anyway. That's good. Right. You dance around on stage quite a lot, don't you? Mm-hmm. So I was wondering if you were up for a bit of a dance-off. 3 dance moves each, and then between us we can decide whose are the best. If you're up for it.
As long as we can do them while we're sat down. Because I've just eaten my dinner and it might end up on the floor.
I could do them sit down.
Alright then.
So, do you want to go first?
Alright.
So, give me 1 dance move. We'll do 1 each and then we'll build up to the 3.
Let's do it. Let's do some tap dancing.
Tap dancing? Alright.
Okay. I think you've got better shoes on for the tap dancing. Alright, let's try another one. This is the subtlest dance-off.
Yeah, so that's your first one. Well then, my opening dance move was going to be the bus driver. This is a classic. You must know this one, yeah, the bus driver.
I've seen it, I think.
See, that's a good move, That's my opening dance move, that's my first one.
I've already done that when I was describing our Tom Petty.
Yeah!
Cruising down the highway. There we go. I'm steady on the wheel.
Sensible driver.
Gets
there safe.
Yeah.
Right, dance move 2 for you then. What would you... You've got to step up from the tap dancing.
Oh dear, I don't know. The can-can. Okay. But again, the slowest can-can in the world is about control. And you've got to pretend that you can hear that French music. There you go.
Right.
I just think you can do that.
I don't want to go straight with my killer move.
Okay.
The one that gets all the ladies.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think now. All I've now got in my head is the YMCA, so I think I'm just gonna have to go with that.
All right then.
That's terrible for a second move.
Yeah, it's like
I'll just give up.
more Farah, but with more gestures.
Yeah, I'll go with that. It's still just the campest thing I've ever done on camera.
There you go.
Right, final dance move from you.
Final dance move. I'm going to go for the Travolta.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Done it. Understated. That's what all of my moves have been.
Well, my last one kind of goes in that vein.
Okay.
I like to call it the sprinkler. This is a move me and my friends came up with after a fair few too many waters.
All right then.
Which is the sprinkler. Just one arm like that.
Yeah.
Kind of got the Travolta in there, and then you just.
Wow.
That is the sprinkler.
It's almost like the Justin Timberlake head pop, which was done in the hip hop days, but he brought it back and he sort of popped his head back like that, but with his hand. So it was really forceful. There you go. And I was quite impressed by things like that because they're clearly ludicrous. All dance moves are quite ludicrous and stupid, but we enjoy doing them and we enjoy dancing, and it's a primal thing. And I was quite happy to see that one come back because it's a bit of fun.
It's a beaut.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Alright, well, thank you very much, Paul. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
And I am loving the suit. I genuinely am quite jealous.
You'll see it again later.
I know. I'm still upset that I dressed up. I thought I dressed up, and it really doesn't look like it.
No, it's.
I haven't bought a hat.
You know, I'm dressed for stage. You dress for the street.
Yes, I'm dressed for radio.
Yeah.
Where I can hide my face easy enough.
Yeah, I've got a face for radio.
Don't we all?
Right.
Thank you very much.